Right then, lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. We are back again. It's just 3 days to the end of the transfer window. It ends on Tuesday, so after Tuesday, we won't be expecting any more signings in or out of Arsenal. That is the deadline day. So we're going to be speaking a couple of transfers that could happen between now and deadline day. And of course, between today and Tuesday, I'll keep on updating you with whatever is happening, whatever kind of business Arsenal is trying to do. I'll try to keep you up to speed. Do smash a like on the video, do subscribe to the channel if you're really kind enough, and obviously if you like the content, consider hitting the notification bell so that you always get the updates. But it's more important because in the last 3 days probably something could happen with us. No, maybe someone could leave, maybe someone could come in, maybe we could do a Maki signing because we have not done one yet. So maybe we could do a Maki signing. So make sure you do subscribe and keep yourself locked to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. Where do we begin? Let's start off with Willian, who has actually saved Arsenal 20 million by agreeing to terminate his contract, and he's very, very close to joining Corinthians. Now, this is confirmed by Chris Whitley, who has put out a tweet and said Willian will become a Corinthians player in the next 48 hours. Sources close to Willian insist that the Brazilian wants to do the right thing and is set to walk away from his contract, with Arsenal potentially saving around 15 to 20 million due to the early termination. That is as per Chris Whitley. Now, what is happening with the Willian situation is the same thing that happened with Mesut Ozil and a couple of other players, the likes of Socrates Papastopoulos and a couple of others. But the difference is Edu brought in Willian, well convinced that Willian is going to work and Willian is going to be a very good player. And you remember all the crap he told us when he had actually just brought in Willian. So it has not worked out, and of course, Willian terminating his contract meant that he was going to get around 15 to 20 million. That was going to put fellow countryman's job, in jeopardy. And I think this is a move that Willian has done not for the best of Arsenal, but for the best of Edu, because Kiajo Rapchin and Edu brought Willian at Arsenal. They wanted him to stay in London. They wanted him to get big wages. They wanted him because he's fellow Brazilian. That's the reason. So now with a lot of pressure piling on Edu, the club is losing money. We are doing shit transfers. Willian suddenly, agrees to walk away without asking for a penny. It is Willian serving Edu. It is countryman, serving countryman. You know what? I gave you this job 1 year ago, last summer, and you've collected some money, but my job is in trouble. My position is in jeopardy. Can you leave, please? Can you leave without asking any money so that I can serve this job? So for me, this is a transfer masterclass. That serves Edu as a person. If you ask me, I would say, I would still sack Edu. I would still sack Edu because the likes of Willian getting 240,000 a week, 3-year contract. The guy is 33 years of age. What do you expect him? Is he Ronaldo? Is he Sergio Ramos? He doesn't even take care of his body. He doesn't even take care of his boots and his and his fitness as a player. How do you give him 3 years at 250k per week? So Willian leaving, for me, it's a masterclass to Edu, because it serves it serves his interest. He's gonna save his job. He's gonna tell the board, you know what? I convinced Willian to leave on a free. But what about the fact that we've spent loads and loads of money, almost 3 million on Willian in 1 year without him doing anything at the club? What about that? So Willian will be leaving the club. He will be joining Corinthians in the next 48 hours, as confirmed by Chris Whitley. We do wait to see what actually happens with that. Now, still talking about deadline day departures, another one that is very likely to leave is Eddie Nketiah. Now, the problem with Nketiah is he picked up a 4-week injury. I think it's an ankle injury. He picked up a 4-week injury, and that's why deals have not been negotiated for Eddie Nketiah. But Romano has already told us that if there is a player who wants to leave, it's Eddie. they have tried to do whatever they can to keep the player at Arsenal Football Club. It has absolutely failed. He wants to go. He wants to leave. And for me, with Eddie, there is no reason as to why you don't let him go. He wants to save his career. He wants to go somewhere, play regular football, probably at Crystal Palace. That's where they want him. It seems Patrick Vieira is very, very interested in the young lad. Leverkusen are also interested in him. You let him go and you let him go and build his career. Maybe 5 years to come, when Arsenal get the money, we could buy him back for 70 or 100 million. Probably. But I think Edu is another one that is very Eddie Nketiah is another one that is very, very close to leaving the club, and Crystal Palace is the final. The most likely final destination. It is being said that around 11.5 to 12 million is what could be paid for Eddie Nketiah, although Arsenal are still looking at around 20 million pounds. Of course, Arsenal with the 20 million pounds, the same situation with Granit Xhaka. He stayed. The same situation with Bellerin. It looks like it's gonna stay, and a couple of others. Now, just an update about Sid Kolasinac before we go into the Aouar, Bissouma, and a couple of others, because I know you're interested in that. Sid Kolasinac's contract is, contract termination is on the brink or verge of a collapse. Arsenal do not want to terminate Sid Kolasinac's contract. They want some fee. They want to get some fee out of Sid Kolasinac. Otherwise, he's going to stay here and continue to be paid big wages. And I'm asking myself, what kind of business is that? What kind of business is that? Because, look, if Sid leaves and he goes to another club, we are, we potentially have, the opportunity to reduce on the wages, right? We have the opportunity to reduce on the wages, and that's what that is what I don't understand. I thought it would be better you let Sid Kolasinac go, whether on a free or you've terminated this contract. I don't care, because I think it doesn't belong here. And then create room, create space. But there have been talks all along to terminate his contract. It looks like the talks are actually going to collapse, because Arsenal feel like they should be getting some amount out of Sid Kolasinac. Lastly, is Aouar. Yeah, I put it last because I thought, there's no big update on Aouar. With Aouar, the transfer frustration keeps on piling and piling and piling. What we have at the moment, or what we know at the moment, is that Arsenal are refusing to include an obligation to buy in the loan deal contract. They want to negotiate with Lyon. Lyon are saying, whoever is interested in Aouar, well and good. You've got to get him on loan if you want, but you've got to insert a buy obligation. That means that at the end of the season, you buy him. You buy him, and that's it. And what I absolutely do not understand with Arsenal and with all the crap that is, that we are doing, is what is so wrong with getting Aouar on a loan deal and including an obligation to buy? If we can keep Sid Kolasinac and play him against Manchester City, how worse does Aouar make it? How worse does he make it? And that's my question. How worse does Aouar signing for Arsenal make it? If Sid Kolasinac in 2021 plays against Manchester City in an Arsenal jersey, how can we fail to get Aouar on a loan deal? So Arsenal are objecting to the fact that they need to put an obligation to buy. It's like they don't want the player. It's like, I thought personally, I thought they were doing us a favor. They are doing us a favor to give us Aouar on a loan deal. Such an important player, such a phenomenal talent. You're getting him on a loan deal with an obligation to buy. As simple as that. At the end of the season, pay that 30 million euros and make him a permanent deal. We loaned Dani Ceballos. And things I don't understand with Arsenal Football Club. things that I do not absolutely understand with Arsenal Football Club. We loaned Dani Ceballos from Real Madrid twice, and we cannot get in Houssem Aouar on loan. Wow, it's interesting, isn't it? So that is the Arsenal deadline day update. Like I said, if anything comes up, I'll be able to let you know. I'll be on standby. We'll be doing the player ratings and 6 things we learned from Manchester City 5, Arsenal 0 in the upcoming videos. Speak to you later.